with Factory Gym Project, we really believe that this area is about to explode with bodybuilding and powerlifting. And we wanted to bring a gym that puts Austin on the map.
They've already talked about how they're going to be expanding to another space, do a powerlifting section, full-blown like posing room, almost amphitheater kind of deal.
I think at that point we're going to go from a very good gym to a world-class training facility and like a fitness complex. That's the goals for hopefully this year.
Oh, I got the lights on and off. Cool. But we got mood lights. Alright.
What's up? We are headed to the Factory Gym. Shout out to the gym owner for the 6 sprinter man. This thing's really cool. So, really looking forward to getting up there, and we're doing like a posing seminar and a training seminar and a rehab seminar and shaking babies and kissing hands, I guess. So it'll be good. But yeah, gonna bring the energy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go.
Screen. We couldn't get the beams to match, but we came pretty close. So then it's a little more back and shoulders over here. Press, overhead press is like really fucking cool. You should check it out. Cable, easy bars. We've got a seal row over here, dumbbells, the powerlifting equipment, Smith machine over there, preacher curl. It's all pretty self-explanatory. We ordered the equipment before we had the building, and then we were like, we'll let you know the shipping address.
Right.
So, yeah.
That was like ours, and it took them 5 months to get us our stuff. I literally got it on my birthday. It was funny. The semi showed up on my birthday last year.
That's a birthday present.
So, yeah, it was a hell of a birthday present.
Yeah, you know, we got 5,000 square feet over next door. We want to build a posing mini amphitheater. And with stadium seating, we want to get rid of that. This is going to be all bodybuilding in here. We're going to move the powerlifting and strongman over there. We're going to create a second gym for them, more like dungeony. Group fitness, so people can do like, bring their kids and have like kids classes and then make it like a destination. But that the posing mini amphitheater, that's what we want to set us apart with.
When you walked into the gym, what was the first thought that you had?
It's green.
They have the most elite lighting setup. So you got door, window, mirror, window, mirror, window, mirror. It's pretty legit. I'm just trying to take a selfie. Very aesthetically pleasing. Everything can be done in this gym. And it's very clean, it's very pretty. It radiates positivity. I would never say that I like this color. Like, I ultimately hate this color. But it's really nice. It is.
It works, yeah.
It works, yeah.
We want to be a gym for those people who are serious. When we designed Factory Gym, we didn't design it with everybody in mind. We designed it for a specific group of people who are serious athletes. And in what we think, in doing so, we've basically appealed to everyone because people follow these top people. They're looking for someone who's the leader in the game, and we really built the gym for those type of people. We tried to build a gym that we wanted to train in. In the years and years I've been in the fitness industry, if I was going to be able to train anywhere, it would be in a gym just like this. We were shooting for the stars with this project. We thought, you know, we would go as high as we could go, and if we had to back it down a little bit, we would. Fortunately, we didn't have to back anything down. We were able to really build a gym exactly like what we wanted.
I drink a lot of my food, 4 meals a day at least. Sometimes I drink the meat too, but yeah, basically everywhere I travel for guest posings and whatnot, I have this little roller suitcase and keep like a Ninja blender in it with the cups, and then I'll have like a couple bags of Rice Krispies and some like Boba bars and rice and other snacks in there. So that's how we try and stay, not try, that's how I do stay on track on the road.
Thank you guys for coming to the Factory Gym grand opening. We're super happy to have everybody here. In just a couple minutes, I'm going to be turning it over to Hunter, Liv, and Ryan, who are going to lead a training session. We're going to do a training session followed by a meet and greet where y'all can meet the athletes. And then we're going to do a posing seminar on the stage. In just a couple minutes, we'll be turning it over to them. Thank you guys.
First and foremost, big thank you to Brian for having us out here. Been to quite a few gyms. Yeah, good morning,
Thank you guys.
I don't know how many of y'all here, but this will be y'all's home gym, but I have had the privilege of traveling at this point all over the world and seeing gyms all over the world, and this is as nice as they come. You can tell he not only spared no expense. For those of y'all that don't know, the plates in this gym cost more than most people's entire gyms. So props to Brian. But everything in here is A, brand new, B, hand-picked, and C is everything you could ever ask for as an athlete, especially as a bodybuilding / physique athlete. So tip my hat to Brian and his crew. They'll put together an awesome place, and thank you for having us out. Does anyone here like big volume people? Like y'all do like 20, 30 sets per workout? Kind of deal? Okay. Like 20, 15, 20, lots of sets? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can change your mind on that before the end of the day. But I guess I can speak for both of us whenever I say both of us are pretty low volume, high intensity trainees. I've trained, every way over the years, high volume, lower volume, not really keeping track of things. And in the last, 2 years, it's really kind of boiled into a true progressive overload style, extremely low volume. I never do more than 10 working sets, even like on a leg day. And it's been something that is, A, given us incredible results in the gym, but B, given me some longevity because, with what we do, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, it sounds counterintuitive, but the most progress that I made in the gym was when I truly got it into my head that it's not what I do in the gym, it's what we do outside of the gym, and the only thing we're trying to do in the gym is cause a growth response. So if you can cause a growth response in 2 sets, that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th set that you're doing is just putting you into a hole in terms of recovery and making progress. So that's something that, I really would encourage y'all to think about, not just thinking about a single workout or a single, training, cycle, going through it once, think about it in the long term, 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks from now. What are we trying to accomplish? I'd say let's go ahead and get rolled out, and then we'll break out and we'll get after arms and I'll get after shoulders.
Let's do it.
Cool. For arms, it's really basic exercise or workout structure for me at least. I don't know how much any of y'all keep up with me, but for an arm day, basically any day actually, I like to work from the lengthened position to the shortened position. Your muscle's strongest when it's longest, so there's a reason when you're doing a curl with way too much weight, you can get it to there, but you can't get it the rest of the way. Your muscle's strongest when it's longest. So we're gonna start in a lengthened position, both on the bicep and the tricep. I've been running the same arm day for close to 3 years now. If that gives you any kind of indication as to what I think about the exercises that I'm gonna show y'all today. It's not something that I think needs to be changed up a lot. In fact, a lot of people ask me, like, what's the best arm exercise? It's the one that you can do for long periods of time, because arms, especially biceps, are one of the quickest way to really tune your elbows up to the point of it affecting your back days and your push days and stuff. So, you'll see today while we're training, a lot, everything's, based around joint alignment, first and foremost, especially on the arm day. And then, from there we'll work on, how can we make this as braced as possible? And, how can we have as good of a resistance profile as possible? So we'll talk about that at each individual exercise, but yeah, we'll kind of combine the groups and we'll get going. Every single exercise that we do not just for arms, but like anything in general, I always like to look at through the lens of three things. One, the joint alignment, like I told you about. Second is how can I brace this as well as possible. I have a saying, you can't fire a cannon from a canoe. You ever notice powerlifters whenever they bench press, how underneath their feet are and how much leg drive they're getting? The more stable you are, the more output you're able to get from your muscle. So after joint alignment, I'm looking to how can I brace this the most. So, you'll see me do my laterals with cables instead of just standing there. I'm, chest into a bench, chest supported. When we do curls today, instead of just doing a standing curl, we're gonna do a preacher curl. And that comes into how can we brace it as much as possible. The last thing that I really like to look at is the resistance profile of the exercise. I kind of told y'all how muscle's strongest when it's longest. Something else to consider, and the reason you'll see me using cables on pretty much everything is gravity. With a dumbbell, if you're doing a curl, where is it going to be heaviest at? It's going to be heaviest at the top. Yeah, so it's going to be heaviest at the top when it's at a 90-degree angle from the point of pivot. So as you get down and down and down, it's going to go 0, 0. It's going to get to the point where there's no resistance at the bottom, right? With the cable, we eliminate that. Not only do you eliminate that, but with the cable, as you curl in that the angle between the cable and your arm gets lower, it's actually mechanically dropping the resistance off. So when you have the cable set right, i.e. it's making like a 90-degree angle at the bottom of the exercise, as you curl up, it's actually mechanically dropping the weight just due to the angle decreasing. So we get an exercise that's heaviest at the bottom when the muscle's longest, and then lightest at the top when the muscle's shortest. So that's what I mean by, looking through the lens of resistance profile. What I want everyone to do is just, grab a dumbbell and get on a bench and just right here, internally, externally rotate with the dumbbell. Just do like 2 or 3 sets of like 10 to 15 on each arm. Really looking to feel it through your elbow and your forearm. And then after that, whatever you feel comfortable doing it on, just get some blood in your biceps. Like 2 or 3 sets of like 10 to 12, just get some blood in there. And then we will all meet right here at this preacher bench. What I want y'all to pay attention to, in addition to the active versus passive range of motion and really keeping that upper arm really driven in there, I really want you to focus on keeping the joint alignment right. So what do I mean by that? I want your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder to be in a straight line the whole time. As you curl up, it shouldn't be like one of these sideways things either way. A cue that I really like to give people is the armpit of your elbow should be straight up the whole time. And you'll see that's why like people my size can't do like bilateral like preacher curls or anything really, because it's such a bad alignment. So you'll see when I get in here to do my first set, if I'm straight, I can't get my arm lined right. I gotta rotate myself a little and open the joint up and really get there, and then that way I'm in a straight line all the way through. That elbow's driven down and back into there, everything's nice and braced, passive range of motion. Right. And then something that I want y'all to focus on, in addition to that armpit staying straight up and down the whole time, is finishing pinkies up. So I don't want it exaggerated, but as you curl up, think about pulling and really finishing with that external rotation, really getting the full contraction in your biceps. So there, there. Stick your hand right here underneath, so it puts a little more angle. Okay. You see how I'm here instead of back here? Yeah. So it's gonna get you in a little bit better of an angle. And then really think about not letting your arm go like completely lax at the end. Keep that elbow driven in there. So we're about to all do our top sets, and basically what I want you to do on this set is you do them exactly the way that you've been doing them, the perfect form, everything locked in. But you do the set like someone has a gun to your mother's head, and if you don't do as many as your body is like completely capable of, your mom's dead. So that's the kind of intensity that all jokes aside, like really and truly, that's what it takes to train low volume and really be able to progress on it. Still is the intensity. It's not the X's and O's, i.e. which split you're training on. It's the Johnnies and Joes. That's my favorite saying. You have to have it between the ears. You have to bring the intensity. I'm about to send my top set. I'll show you what my best effort looks like, and then the 3 of us are gonna get your best effort out of you for sure.
Come on. Come on. Very good. Come on. Good. Let's go. Come on. That's you still. Come on. Now we work. Let's go. Come on. Finish this one. Come on.
Yes, come on.
Come on. All right. Come on. Finish it. That's it. Yes. Okay, who's next? You're next.
You know, really any tricep exercise that not a lot of people are very good at is we really need to focus on keeping our scapula/shoulders packed. What does that mean? Whenever you do the exercise, whenever you get into position, we're not like letting our shoulders flop everywhere. It's down and back and everything's locked in. The same way right here, when everything's locked in and as braced as possible, right? So typically I'll do this exercise in, you know, like the free motion cables or the Life Fitness cables that are like that far apart from each other, or like the army guys where you can do it, and we'll do 2 at a time simply to save time, right? I don't have the cables yet. I know we ordered the same exact cables I have at my gym. I love them. They're going to be awesome for y'all. In the meantime, though, you just do them unilaterally. So the main focus for this, just like, and I'm going to use this, but only one-handed, right? So the main focus for this exercise is the joint alignment, right? So cable, shoulder, elbow, wrist. They're all in the same plane. And you can see if y'all come around here, see looking from like where Jordan is, how everything's in a perfectly straight line. There's no torque at the elbow, there's no torque or anything, so you're just here. We're braced off here, that shoulder's down, back, elbows frozen at the side. It's gonna move a little bit, like maybe an inch either way, but your upper arm should be frozen when you're doing this. We just want as much angle in the arm as possible, and straightening and extending and contracting as hard as possible. What we don't want is this. This is a function of your lat. We're not training back today. So get that elbow down, frozen by your side, scap locked down, back. Your lats literally contracted if you're doing this right. And we are extension, as much flexion as possible, extension, much flexion as possible. At the end of the day, I like to train things, you know, from an anatomical standpoint. The job of your tricep is arm extension.
Let's go. Come on.
So we're here, come into a stretch here, and we're pressing up. And it's going to look the same. You're going to control your eccentric. They should look just as hard as your concentric. Every single movement, you should come to a full stop in your stretch, because otherwise you're not controlling it. So,
But we're not like setting us down.
no. You want constant tension. Stop in your eccentric. Full control. Let's go. Full control. Let's go. Drive. Yup. You got 2. Yep. Up. Beautiful. Own it. Down. Reaching out. That's a full contraction. Verse. You can actually see. That's peak contraction right there. So I'm keeping a stretch, getting that contraction, keeping a stretch, every single rep. If you need to lean a little bit forward to get that stretch, sure, but if you're leaning forward to release the weight, then no.
Okay.
So if you can keep it here, you don't even come on here, Just keep them completely off your body. It's going to be the most constant tension through the whole movement. All right. Doing the T-dumpy thing as you go up. You feel that? Yeah. So I want that the whole time. Same concept as the cable laterals. As your dumbbells are coming up, it's almost like you're pouring a cup of tea. So if I have a mug here, I'm kind of pouring it out the whole way. You're not really turning your hands like that, but that's kind of the concept of a little tilt in the hand as you're coming up. Focus.
There you go. Go, let's go. Up. Drive it up. Up. Come on. Up. Work. Yes, sir.
I think the way that they train is how everybody should train. I think a lot of people come in and just move the weight and they don't understand that working past that level where you don't think you can go anymore, and that's why it's nice to have a trainer or a partner that can train with you so that they can push you that little bit, because honestly that little bit is the difference.
Micro adjustments, like keeping everything in the same plane, those like just that small difference like made a huge change in like the activation, especially like my tricep movement with the cable and keeping the cable with my elbow and everything. That made a huge difference in my like tricep activation for sure.
All right, last of the day. We're at tricep skull crusher. We're gonna get in here, you're gonna brace off the corner, play around with your arm angle, but just like everything else we've done, we're wanting to get as close to again is pulley, shoulder, elbow, wrist. All being in a straight line. You're here, much flexion as possible. We're keeping the upper arm frozen. I don't want it moving all over the place. It's locked in and frozen there. Full extension, full flexion, full extension, full flexion.
Come on. All right, again. Finish it. Come on. That's you. Come on. Yep. Come on. Drive. There we go. Come on.
No, I get that. Yeah, I can do it.
Finish it. Come on. Come on.
Nobody trains their lower lats, ever. Your lat stretches and stretches and stretches, and then disengage. So your lat's engaged, and then it's not. So when you're doing your pull downs, when you're doing your rows, you want to come to a full stretch, but you don't want to come to a full extension. So it's an active range of motion. Sure, maybe you can feel your lat when you're like this, but you're not isolating the lat for that stretch, for that movement. So we're locking it in, we're keeping it hard stretch. You should feel that stretch at every single rep, feel the cramping in every single rep. Any movement where you're here, you're not really gonna get it. And any movement that you're here, you're not gonna really get it. You really need that angle straight to the lower lat. So we're gonna try to get that here. Usually I do it on a cable. We're gonna try to get there, and if we can, we will. If not, we'll go bombard the boys. Feel your eccentric. Full stretch, feel the stretch. No momentum. Good. This is where we grow. Let's go. Yep. Good. Let's go. 2 more. Drive. Yep. Scapula down. Don't let it come up. I'm gonna help you get there. There you go. Yep. Keep it pressed against my hand. Let's go. Good. Yep. Drive. Yep. Own it. All the way up. Full stretch. All the way up. Then disengage.
Oh, I am on fire.
Really appreciate all y'all coming out and signing up to do this with me. I know it was, I know it cost y'all money on top of the tickets and everything. So thank you for that. It's an honor to have worked with y'all. Hopefully, I'll pick up a little something.
Yeah. Likewise, almost y'all.
Definitely, but we will break for shakes and then we'll Q&A it and do clothing seminar. One of the biggest things that you want to keep in mind, and one of the biggest things you see at the amateur level is if you are not like actually like in center stage or in a call out, you're relaxed or not presenting yourself to the best of your ability. When you're competing, the second that you're on the stairs and you can see like the left ear of the far judge, you're on stage. So in your mind, you know, the second you're on that stair, you can see the first judge, your midsection's tight, you're smiling, you have your confidence, you know, everything that you've practiced, it turns on then and it doesn't turn off until you get off the stage. Regardless of what, you know, people will tell you, oh, it doesn't matter, this, that, and another, no, we don't look. I'm very good friends with quite a few pro league judges. They do pay attention to what you're doing when you're not in a call out or not center stage. Your presence does count with them. And let's face it, at the end of the day, we're in a subjective sport and they are humans. So anything that you can do to stick out in their head and anything you can do to separate yourself from the rest of the people in your division is something that you need to do and something you need to keep in mind. A rough rule of thumb is, you know, as you get closer to the show, by the time show day comes, you should be able to go through 3 rounds of your mandatories holding each pose for 10 seconds and not be like a fish out of water. I can be at the point where I can do cardio like for as long as I want at the rate that I need to do it, but if I haven't been posing, I'm gasping still. So, you know, being in posing conditions a lot different than just being in good cardiovascular shape. So keep that in mind and start very early when you start preparing for your show. Something you'll see a lot of people do at the amateur level is if they start by setting their legs, they'll set them and they'll come up and then they'll forget about them. Or they'll just come up and have their upper body tight and their legs are just like, it's an afterthought to them. That's 50% of your physique. Have to have everything tight, build it from the ground up. Here you'll see he's not like this and he's not like this. He's at a point where he is maximizing his lats without having a big gap right here. He's not creating any more negative space than he has to. He's also got a big chest. He's not doing this, trying to make his shoulders look bigger. Biggest thing you want to keep in mind in your front and relaxed and really any pose, really learn to breathe shallow and through your chest. Your stomach's in the whole time, but you can be breathing shallow through your chest. So that's the biggest thing, especially in the front and side poses. During your transitions whatsoever, like there is never a point where you're relaxed and breathing until you turn to the back and then, you know, let it hang to your heart's content. But like I said, from the second you hit that stairs, midsection's tight and it's in. Roth, go ahead and quarter turn. And it'll always be to the right. Okay, so you see when he turned, he didn't, you know, just kind of like, okay, you know, let me get my feet set, like his body's not flopping around. It was very deliberate, there was no wasted motion, and he got into it. Transitions are just as important as the static poses in bodybuilding, both during your mandatories and during your routine. All right, guys, so we're about to hop on the Sprinter bus and head back to Houston, but can't tell you how much fun I had today working with everyone individually and then just checking out another awesome Texas gym. Can't wait to come back. Definitely looking to do some like seminars and whatnot in here later in the year, so keep you up posted on that. But until then.